Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Today I have curled hair. Who am I? I'm also, look, I think this makes you more official, right? Like, oh, I'm taking myself seriously. I love it. Anyway, today we have a lot of fun stuff to do in this video, or at least I feel like it's gonna be fun. I have some new makeup I'm excited to talk about. I finally got my new Pat McGrath highlighter. This is the new one for holiday this year. Very pretty. I did a little short. If you haven't seen that, check it out. But I'm gonna be using that today. The entire look though is inspired by the Midnight's album cover from Taylor Swift. That's what it looks like. I'm on just Spotify, so I can't zoom in, but it's basically just like a blue eye and a red lip. I don't think I'm gonna do liner. I don't really feel like doing that, but it's slightly inspired. It's inspired, you know? I also have this new blush from Persona. I don't know if I'm gonna use that today, but this is the blush in Jam, and I kind of was thinking about maybe that, I don't know. But I also have been doing my foundation a little bit differently also, so I wanted to share how I've been doing that because I've really been liking it. It's pretty glowy, but I don't know, it makes my skin look like wet and cold in a good way. Like that sounds bad, like I'm dead, like the undead, but it's like more that refrigerated glossy look. I don't think that helped either. Anyway, let's just get into it. I'm going to start by priming, which that is like the same as always. Always First Aid Beauty primer. I just been using that as my primer because I have been getting oily. I've been actually powdering more than normal. I don't want to like look textured. I want glow, but I don't want to look textured. And I do want my makeup to like last nicely. So trying to find that balance has been tough. I think for a while it really worked out not powdering at all because, to be honest, like where the fuck were we going for 2 years? Or at least for me, I was not going very many places. I wasn't really doing anything. I didn't need my makeup to last, and only more this year am I back with my love for makeup, you know? Not that I didn't love makeup 2020, 2021, but it was just tough. It's been rough years. It's been rough, okay. And I feel like really only now am I starting to like pick it back up and be in a good place. And so anyway, I'm powdering my face. All that goes back to powdering my goddamn face. This is what's different. I've been pulling out the Glowish. This is the Multi-Dew Skin Tint. Now, I have the lightest shade, which is Fair, and it is pretty dark, okay? But this is so glowy, you guys. So I've been using this as basically like a glowy tinted primer base thing. So it does give me some coverage. I just use my fingers and I put it in. I don't even use quite a pump. Like I put a whole pump out, but I don't think I'm gonna use the whole thing. But I just use my hands to rub it into my skin, and it gives me a little bit of coverage, a lot of glow. I feel like on its own though, it's a little much. It's like quite a bit, but so healthy looking. Like it is a really pretty like vacation look. Like if you were traveling on a honeymoon or something, or like a bride, I don't know why, it gives you that kind of glow. It's very similar to me. This is a very similar product to the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter with maybe a hint more coverage, but like think that glow. Think that glow, you guys. And then I just like using my hands because I feel like it really makes sure there's not any extra product on my skin. It gets rid of any extra. Sometimes with a brush, maybe I can see streaks, or it's just more product than needed, and I don't think that ends up being good because I am oily, so I like the glow, but we gotta control it also. Then for like more coverage, I've been going in with my Salt New York. This is the Sneaky Tint Balm thing. I have the shade N12. It's the Sneaky Balm Hydrating Skin Tint. I put it in just this Makeup Forever case, so I could just have it singularly. I felt like when it was in the palette, it was getting lost with the blush that I had and all the other stuff, and I wanted to keep it with my foundation, so I'd reach for it. I actually recently picked up a few things from Credo Beauty during their sale because I was like, you know, I always look out for Sephora, which their sale starts tomorrow. I'm so excited. How dare you focus on the light and not me? How dare you? Anyway, it's so spooky back there. I like love a nice dark background, don't I? I'm still working to make my background better. But anyway, I shopped on Credo Beauty and I got a few things because I feel like I'm always only looking at the Sephora sales, which I am so excited for, but I kind of wanted to see some other makeup brands that are out there, and I picked up a case that I'm hoping will fit this even better. That's where this whole story's going. We will see. I'll let you guys know. But I've really been liking this. So before I was using this with a sponge, and I decided to try my tried and true little BK Beauty 106 brush. I love this for foundation, and it looks so good over it. This doesn't have a ton of coverage, but you can see the difference, right? Like, this is no makeup, still really fresh, and you know, looks good even with the redness kind of coming through. But this really, like, you know, takes it to a bit more finished level, but it's still really light, and I love that. So I've been doing this a lot lately. And the thing I love is that usually when I use brushes, I kind of sacrifice having a nice base, especially around my nose. And I'll zoom in, and you guys, my nose looks great with these products. I don't like basically see little marks where the foundation collects in my pores. Like, that sounds so gross, but it's true. It's freaking true. And sometimes, you know, some days you just have to accept some L's. You just gotta move on and hope that the rest of the day is better. But I love that I don't have to sacrifice that and can still quickly kind of just put this on. My skin just looks so fresh, I'm telling you. Do you see what I mean though? Kind of like glowy, but like not sweaty. It's like cold. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I guess because it's smoother looking. I just think my skin looks really good. And I'm happy to be using my Salt New York cream. I've already hit pan. I'm hoping to maybe use that up by the end of the year. And I could see myself repurchasing it. I feel like if you were using it every day, it would go fast, but it's kind of nice to actually use a product too. So I go back and forth. It's more just like cost thing. Anyway, that's the base. I've been absolutely loving it. And I really hope you get what I mean with that like cold yet dewy skin look. Do you get it? I don't know. Okay, let's do some contouring. I'm gonna go in first with the cream bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. I've actually been oh my gosh, Lord help me. Okay, we're back. I've actually been contouring more with, well, one, I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury one a little bit more than the NARS just because I want a little more color. And that one's beautiful, but it's a little bit more subtle. And so I've been doing that. But I've also just been using the Kevyn Aucoin contour powder, which if you guys have been here, you know I've hung on to that thing through each and every effing declutter, being like, maybe one day, maybe one day. Well, baby, the day has come. I'm using it. I'm over here using it. I think it's so funny, but hey, I'm glad it's getting some use. So I'm just doing a light layer, and I'm actually not gonna take the cream on my nose. I'm just gonna do the powder. Oh my gosh. We are struggling with the focus today. And I know we're really glowy. We are gonna powder this shit down, don't worry. And I do find I need a powder throughout the day, like kind of stay up on it, but I feel like the way my skin looks, it's like worth it, I feel like. For concealer, I've been going back to my Kosas concealer, and I'm just doing a dot. Just a little dot right there in the inner corner, and then I've just been using my finger to tap it out. The sponge ruined it last time. I think something of it mixing with the water kind of makes it go a little patchy, so I'm just using my finger, and I like the way that looks also. It's nice and creamy, adds a little bit of coverage, and brightens a bit without being too much. So especially if I don't overdo it, because it is so creamy, so I just do that little dot. If I have other places, then I might add it there, but my skin's looking pretty good. I had like a little spot here for a while, but it's essentially gone. I really want to try that one layer trick. Have you guys seen that, where they do all of their products like dotted on their face and then just blend it out at once, so you're not layering like foundation on concealer on bronzer on blush, like all of that? Let me know if you'd be interested. I might try that out. I feel like it won't work for me though, because I do have such redness, but I don't know, you know, sometimes you just got to branch out, try something new. Now for setting my face, I'm just using the Kosas one, and I just use a pretty big fluffy brush, and I just just tap my powder in, and I mostly just focus it on the center of my face, because those are where I have the issues, and I feel like also where I don't like the shine as much, whereas like on my cheeks I kind of like it. On the outer part of my cheek, not here. Not here, that's where it's just like pores. Textures and pores, which we all have, but you know, mine, I have oily skin, so I feel like my pores look a little bit more enlarged, and so you know, a little mattifying there really, really does the trick. I feel so talkative today, but it's kind of fun, actually. Okay, we're using the contour powder now, and I'm using this BK Beauty 111 brush. I think this is part of the new brushes that they came out with. I do have a code with them, so I'll leave it down below if you want to shop, but I have been really into the BK Beauty brushes. I've been using them for a while now, and I feel like out of all the brushes in my collection, these Sigma, the few Refer I have, as well as the What's Up Beauty, those are probably my top ones. Like if you were asking what brushes should I get, out of what I've tried, those are the ones that I really love and reach for. And when my brushes are clean, this is the real test, right? When my brushes are clean, which ones I actually use first, those are the ones. And I'm putting this shit pretty much everywhere on top of all that cream. I've just been going a little more ham, going a little more contoured, and I really love the color. I love it. For blush today, I'm using one because I feel like I got a lot of comments when I wore this recently on camera. So I finally tried out the Roosevelt blush stick from ColourPop, and I really love the color. So I'm using another BK Beauty brush. This is the 110. I'm trying to just also tell you what brushes I use because I realize sometimes it's nice to know, but it's kind of this egg shape, but smaller and a little bit dense. And then I just use that and just with light pressure. So I hold more at the back of the brush and apply that color on. And because Roosevelt is like a brown neutral type rosy shade, I feel like if I just went in with the stick, it'd be a little more intense. And I don't know, I like the control I have by just kind of brushing my brush on the actual stick and then going in from there. It just puts it on way more diffused. And I do a mix of kind of like light stippling as well, so I'm not picking up foundation. And I love the blush on the nose, so I'm doing that for sure. I mean, this is obviously not inspired by the Taylor Swift Midnights. It's more the eye look that we'll be doing. But yeah, I've been doing a shit ton of blush lately. I guess I totally decided not to use the Persona. I just realized I brought this out maybe as a maybe, and then it was like no contest once everything was on my face. I used this. Anyway, the real exciting part, this is the new highlighter from Pat McGrath, again, part of the holiday collection. It's called Venusian Nude. This is it. It's a very similar to last year's highlight, which I love that, if you guys don't know. So I'm happy that if you didn't get that and you were interested, this is really similar. We'll see how it looks today actually on, but that's the swatch of it. I know it looks dark, but if you use a light hand, I'm telling you, it should look amazing. Again, haven't used the new one yet, but the one from last year, which is this one, it's very similar in color, and I'll show you a swatch comparison. And like I said, I absolutely love this one. So that's the old one, last year's, and this is the new one. They're very similar. They're very similar. I feel like if you don't want to spend $60, it's very expensive, $60 you have last year's, I don't think you're really missing out, but I'm not gonna lie, part of me is happy to have this one. So I use this Sigma brush, and I'm just like gently putting it on and then kind of like swiping it like a C shape on my cheekbone, not going in and putting it densely on because it does have that darker base. But I also find, and I'm glad actually I used the Roosevelt blush, because that kind of tone of the blush is kind of the undertone of this highlighter, and I feel like it just melts into it that way also, which just helps make it not look too dark. And the finish is so pretty. So happy with that highlighter. I love it. I really love it. I'm gonna put a little on my nose, even though sometimes this isn't my favorite one for the nose because I like a lighter highlighter on the nose to really, you know, pick up the light, but absolutely beautiful. So happy with that. And I don't feel like it's too dark. Like I don't see a cast. It's just beautiful. It really is. If you like a lighter highlight, probably won't be the one for you, but it's one shade, and I feel like she's trying to pick something that captures as many people as possible. And I do think for a one shade highlighter, it's trying to do that. Okay, let me do brows really fast and we'll move on to the eyeballs. Okay, hopefully the eyebrows look okay. I wanted to go like a little less manufactured, or like not as dark, I guess, if I could help it. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit so you can also see the face. Like, look at my skin. I feel like it looks so good. Hopefully it actually looks good on camera, but I'm telling you in person, I really like the way it looks. I really do. But I would say the Sneaky Balm definitely gives you a little bit of shine. It's probably best for dry skin, but I really have been loving it. I think for a primer today, I'm just gonna go in with the Urban Decay. I usually go in with the Sigma base to add more like of a cream on the lid so that it kind of evens it out. But I'm gonna put a different cream on. So I'm trying to do the look pretty close besides the eyeliner. I really wanted to use though the Charlotte Tilbury Cosmic Rocks, the new single shadow. I thought it would be pretty perfect. So it's a little bit teal and it also shines purple, but I think it'll look good with everything else going on. So the cream I'm gonna lay down is from MAC. This is the shade Vintage Selection. It's actually kind of taupey. I feel like the look has a little bit of like a taupe or like a shadow going on. And so I thought I would lay this down first, just to give my eye a bit of a base to work on. The blue shadow from Charlotte Tilbury has a bit of like a gray base to it, so I thought it would look nice over this instead of just nothing. But I didn't want to do a blue base because I think that it'll be too blue if I do that. And the look is just a little more simple and I kind of wanted to try to channel that. It made sense in my head. For the crease, I'm going to go in with the contour shade. I've been doing that a lot lately. And again, I feel like this will just help add a little bit of shadow without too much pigment. So I'm just kind of putting that more densely in the actual crease of my eye. I guess above the crease. I never put stuff like actually in my crease. I just make up my crease where I want it to be so that people can still see my shadows, you know? Because if I'm just like looking at you, I have no lid space at all. You have to tell me what you guys think of the new album from Taylor Swift. I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie. Like, I don't really stan anyone like that, but I do quite like her music and I was excited and I was like waiting and anticipating the release of Midnights. I made me and Sam do like a listening party the night it came out, but I feel a bit mixed. I've been listening to it though more and more and I do really like it. Overall, just like fun, poppy. I've been enjoying it. But now let's go, well, okay. Before we do that, I'm actually gonna add one of the Half Magic singles. So I picked up 2 singles from them recently. I got the shade, I try in these videos to like swatch stuff so you can see it. This is the Elven Things eyeshadow, which is more of like a duochrome, but it's almost like a highlighter type of duochrome, not a ton of sparkle or texture. And then I really feel like this one, Wet Pebble, this is such a stunning shadow. It is super like wet feeling, like it is one of those, I think almost like Makeup Geek foiled, that kind. I'm trying to show it, but it's really pretty and really like almost like a cream shadow, honestly. So I want to take a little bit of the Wet Pebble shade and just kind of keep that to the outer corner. And I really like the idea that this is going to add some depth, but also has its own kind of sultry shine to it before we go in with the blue. But I'm kind of keeping it into the crease still. And I'm just using a little bit of that shadow because I'm taking literally from my swatch on my hand because I feel like it has so much pigment. It's a beautiful little like minky taupe though, if you're into those colors. I think that will add the perfect little touch. Okay, now for Cosmic Rocks, I'm just gonna add this with my finger and I'm not adding like a glitter glue, and I hope to do something a little sheer. Yeah, I think it's working. I'm just gently tapping it again, trying to like have it be a little bit more sheer. Like I want the blue to come through, but I don't again want it to be like this perfect blue eye. I want it to feel a little lived in, and I think that's what's happening. Okay, there we go. I think I'm gonna take like a brush and just kind of blend out the edges, really nothing on it, just to make sure, because that's kind of the look again. It's nice and blended. It might be a little dark because of that base on it. I'm like trying to pull from other blues next to me. I have like the new Odin's Eye. I'm gonna tap a little blue ice on top just to add a little bit of brightness, a little lightness. And I'm also gonna tap a little bit of that Max Blue. If you guys watched my most recent video where I duped out palettes, then you'll recognize that, but I'm gonna just put a little of that in the outer corner. For my brow bone inner corner, I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona. My freaking voice is like giving out halfway through this video as I talk. I feel a lot better, but I've like, I don't know, I thought I was getting better, but then I feel like I've kind of regressed the last couple days into still having like a cough, which I didn't even have the whole time I was actually feeling really sick. It's so weird. I'm gonna put a little liner on. This one is from Pixie. I think my favorite song on the album though, so I can tell you guys mine. I really just like Lavender Haze, I think. I mean, I like a lot. I like Labyrinth as well. I don't know. I feel like my favorite changes, but I feel like the opening of the album is really strong. I like Lavender Haze. Let's do mascara, and that's really gonna let me know where the eye look's at. And then I'm just gonna put some mascara in the outer corner, not the full under eye. Really loving the eye look. For the lip, I have some new colors from Dose of Colors, some new lip products. These are a different formula. There's 3 different colors. They're the Velvet Mousses, so they're kind of like that lip clay from Kaleidos or those powdered matte. So this is the shade Fired Up. These are gonna stain, I know it. This one is Out of Office. Ooh, that's Out of Office, which is a little more pink, kind of fuchsia blue base. And then this one is Twin Flame, which is the one I think I might do. That's Twin Flame, which is like a hot, more red. This is like a hot orange red. Let me check out the picture again. Whatever I do, it needs to be softer. I think I'm gonna go with Twin Flame, but I'm gonna like soften it up. And then I know hers is matte, but I might even gloss it up. I think one of the ways I'm gonna not make it as red as like the full pigment of that Dose would be is with a lip liner that's not red. So I'm gonna use my Make It Forever. This is the Wherever Walnut. Just so I have a little bit of a lip line, and also again, hopefully it will encourage me to not overdo it with this. I'm just gonna put a little in the inside, and then I'm gonna use my finger to blend out. Okay, it's still kind of too much. I look like someone who's doing a 4th of July party. Oh no. I did not have a clean finger and I thought I did. Oh no. I kind of like it though. It's like a mood. I don't know how I feel about these matte colors from Dose of Colors. You guys know I love the liquid lipsticks, but these can feel pretty drying, honestly. Like, I already feel like they're so dry. I like the kind of like velvet lip it's giving though. Let's do a little gloss. I'm gonna use this one from Romand. Very juicy. The lips are probably a little too red, honestly. There may be more a burnt terracotta actually, or maybe it's just the filter though. Like if I did a photo shoot and then put the right filter on, I think the makeup could look similar. Okay, let me take these down. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see my eye look all the way. That's what it's looking like. Just like a wash of blue, you know, nothing too much. And then I know my hair isn't the same as Taylor's, but I just wanted to do something different today. I'm not gonna lie though, it makes me feel like my hair is a bit of a wig because it has a little more volume than I'm used to. I'm like, where is this stick straight hair? What is this fluff? The lip gloss is kind of like picking up any of that color and moving it to the outer edges, so I'm kind of blotting. I did get a lighter to do this. How does it look? How does it look? Let me see how she's doing it. I'm gonna light my fucking hair on fire. She's like staring into the flame. Anyway, I'm gonna stop holding a flame by my fucking face. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm super happy with my Pat McGrath. So glad to have already dug back into my Cosmic Rocks for this look. I really feel like it's the color I think of for blue. Like if I'm like, oh, what kind of blue? I'm like, oh, well, I have this single shadow, it's so cute. I'm not sure about these. I'm not sure. They're just so drying, guys. They're really drying. I've tried them one other time and I was like, holy fucking shit. Holy shit. I didn't get to try this on in the video, but I do have a short if you guys want to check it out. I freaking put the wrong promo code. I am an affiliate with Persona and I put the wrong code in my video because I'm a good influencer. Really good at it, obviously. But I have been enjoying this as well with a more subtle face, like really letting this shine. And I do like a blush and lip look, but I do that in that short, so check that short out. These I'm pretty happy with. I feel like the Elvish one, or Elven things, I feel like if you're really looking for a great duochromatic shadow, probably not gonna be the one for you because, you know, so many indie brands just do it better. But Wet Pebble, really beautiful. Makes me want to check out some of the other neutrals that come out, and I'm really happy with this one. So I am happy to try more from the brand. I hope they expand their singles soon. I know they just like came out with them, but you know what I mean. I think I'm gonna leave it here though. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.